Around 10 years ago or so, I became a profitable trader. That was 2016. How I got there was a few aha moments along the way, and a very simple system which I'll share with you today in this video. Let's dive right into it. I don't have a fancy video set up today. I'm at the airport hotel in Toronto. Just got here last night from Bangkok and have a flight today later on to Vancouver. So it's a beautiful place. You can see the planes, which is really nice for sure, but the lighting is far less than ideal. And I want to just share a cool lesson with you today, how I'm able to trade and really the system that got me profitable in trading 10 years ago or so, which I still use today, of course. So when I first started trading, I was trying to go in the market and catch every move. I would look back on the chart, I would say, oh wow, price went from here all the way to here, therefore I should be catching the whole move, and then it went back to here. I should also catch that move, then back to here, I should catch that move too. So I was trying to kind of find a strategy or a way to catch all these big moves in the market. And you'll notice that it's pretty much impossible to do because we never know how far price will go. Price doesn't work on like very mechanical logic all the time. It's gonna be times where it reverses way before you think and times when it goes way further than you think. And we have no way to predict that. We have no way to calculate exactly what price will reverse. It doesn't make any sense to try to look for all these moves and catch all these big patterns. Now, I got so tired of trying to catch these big moves that I said, oh, I'll just try to catch these small patterns over time. And even if I make like maybe 10 points or 10 pips per trade, I can still be profitable with it. In other words, if I can just catch not this bottom part of the trend, but just maybe from here to here, then it goes to here after, I'm cool with it. That's totally fine for me. And I realized this was much easier to do than trying to catch the whole move in the market all the time. So we'll get to the charts in a second here. But here's the key lesson for this video that I want you to remember from now on. You don't need to catch all the big moves on your chart that you see to be able to make money trading. You can make a really good income trading by just catching small moves in the market consistently. Even these very, very small targets. Even when you're completely wrong in the whole direction, but you catch a small pullback against the trend. That works totally fine. These small moves can pay you well, and often a lot more than the big moves, because the big moves tend to not be as reliable. You don't know exactly when to get out, and that can cause a lot of issues. So make sure you remember that, and we'll go right in the chart now to show you how that looks like. So I'm bringing you back here way back many years when this all started, and what I was trading back then, and I still trade this today by the way in Forex and other markets, is my Bonk reversal setups. It's a way to be able to catch reversals, but you don't have to catch a whole reversal completely. You don't have to look for price going from here to here. You can just look at price going from here to maybe here, a little bit. Sometimes a very small move can pay you well. So for example, over here, we have a nice short setup. Price gave us a nice reversal, but only went up to here. And that can be good enough. That works really well. The way I used to trade these patterns, and I still do today, is I look for these reversals. I might go and put my entry here just below the low, which was barely triggered, but it works fine. Stop loss is just above the high. Very tight in this trade. And my first profit will be at 1-to-1. So 1-to-1 is here. And I never really hold more than 2-to-1 for these patterns. I found that 2-to-1 was the best for me. So I get an average of 1.5-to-1, which is plenty because the win rate tends to be quite high. You can get easily 70% win rate with this kind of strategy, this kind of setup, and these targets. So for me, 1-to-1, take partial profits, and then we'll stop loss to break even, and just let the other half of the trade ride, and that's kind of how it works out. Another setup over here that will not be triggered because you have to enter above the high to be able to make this trade valid, and the next candlestick doesn't go beyond the high. You can also see a full video on that. I'll kind of give you a tutorial. It's going to be linked right over here in the corner, where I go in depth on these setups and this strategy, so you can actually watch it and learn a lot more. Today I want to show you how it works out and how we can just catch small moves and make good money in the market overall. So what I'll do is lower this down on the lower time frame. Here we are on a 1 hour chart now. And you see that on a 1 hour chart, we have a lot more action. Price will move a lot faster. And we have these nice little pullbacks that work really well. Okay, so for example, this one would not be triggered. If we go here, this one would not be triggered either. Here, this one will be triggered, it will be a loss, but that's okay. Actually, we might have gotten 1-to-1 on this one. Let's just have a look at that. If we go in long position, we enter just above the high over here. Stop loss below the low, it's right here. That would be so tight. No, that would be less than 1-to-1, but very close to it. That's good. So let me just bring you back in time. We'll have a look at some charts and how these setups really work out to catch not the whole move, but a good chunk of the move in the market. Here's actually a good example. We have price going in a somewhat downtrend from here to here. Pulling up, we have a nice setup here, which is price breaking outside the Bollinger Band at the top, giving us a nice engulfing candle. So we enter just below the low. Let's take a short position from here. Boom, stop loss is right here. Very tight in this one. And first take profit is 1-to-1. So it turns out to be about here, which is easily achievable in about 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. And then we just target 2-to-1 for second take profits, which is right here. Now, do we catch the whole move? Absolutely not. We're far from the whole move. Price went from here all the way to here and then pulled back a little bit, and then it even went down to here. Do we care about this stuff? Well, we don't care about it because we can make a lot of good money with just these small targets. We don't have to aim for the whole trend. Could you use a different approach where your take profits are much further and you can adapt to price moving in your direction? Yes, you for sure you could. But is it worth it? Not always. I find these 2-to-1 targets to be much more reliable and achievable than the big 5-to-1 target or 4-to-1, all that kind of stuff. So that's just me, but here's another setup. We have a nice bullish engulfing candle breaking the Bollinger Band again. We can go in and place our entry there. Long position here. Stop loss below the low here. 1-to-1 is very easily achievable, right over here. And then 2-to-1 is right over here. Again, are we catching the whole move? Well, far from it, very far from it. Price went actually all the way to here. Could we have made the target bigger? Yeah, we probably could, but why would we want to care about exactly making the target bigger? What if we put a target that's over here and price only reaches here? Or what if we put the target that's over here, but price gets further than that? Like, this doesn't matter. So as long as the target that's easily achievable, the more you target, the less your targets are achievable. Now, here's the cool thing too, is the bigger your targets are, if you have a 5-to-1 versus like a 2-to-1, the lower your win rate will be. Small targets means very high win rate, and high win rate comes with more discipline, more patience, more trusting the strategy more because you know it's gonna win more often. And that's something that for me makes sense in the mindset. I started that way many, many years ago. I still trade in a similar fashion today with a higher win rate because I care about the mindset. And I feel like these higher win rates for me work better. Someone could go in the market and recover all the losses with one trade because they had like a 10-to-1 winner. But for me, I prefer to have this consistent high win rate and not these massive losing streaks and then a big winning, then massive losing streak, big winning trade to be able to make money. It's just me. It's just the way my mindset works maybe. Something I like better. But you can trade multiple ways. There's many ways to make money in the market. You gotta pick your own preference. But for me, this kind of trading here works really well. So I hope you understand how this works. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below. And these days I also combine this approach with a trending strategy. If you want to see how this works out. The first link below is a free course on how I trade these trends these days. A bit different than this year. It's gonna take you to the strategy, the edge I have behind it, and how this all works out in the market. You can check it out. It's 100% free, and you can learn this indicator I use, and you can learn which indicator I use, which settings, how I look at the chart, how this all works out, so you can get some good value. So join me at the link below, and I'll catch you right there.